What is up, guys? I am Driessenable, and welcome to a little message from myself. So it is a 2 for Tuesday, and generally I would play a secondary game on this day, but because something special just recently passed, at least special to myself, I thought that the 2 for Tuesday would be something talking about that. So recently, I believe it was actually 4 days ago, I actually uploaded my 100th video, which is awesome. This has been going on for, actually today would mark 3 months. It's been going on for about 3 months now, and so I'm four videos behind doing this when I actually wanted to. So we're at 104 videos. By the time you'll see this, this will actually be the 106th. But either way, we've passed 100 videos, which is awesome. When I first started this thing, I know I had in mind that I wanted to upload a video a day, and then 2 videos on Tuesday, and I didn't really realize how quickly I would get to 100 videos by doing that. And mind you, there was one Tuesday that I believe I missed uploading video, but at the same time, there was a day where it was a Monday where it was actually the end of the Layers of Fear Inheritance. I literally just played it and I already forgot what it was called. It's Layers of Fear Inheritance, where the ending was a little bit short, so I actually posted a second video on that day. So kind of a makeup, not really on a Tuesday, but I did what I could. But it's been 100 videos over the course of, well, I guess just shy of 3 months when the 100 videos would have hit. And it's been a great time. I've really enjoyed recording, editing, and publishing these videos of games, so horror games they have actually all been. And it's been a really great time. There's been a lot of good scares. It's been a lot of great stories, and I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go through a bit of my favorite series. I'll list off all the ones that I've played, but I'll go through my favorite series so far. And I'd like to know what your guys' favorite series were. So if you can, let me know in the comment section below what your favorite series was. That'd be great. So a few of them that I've really enjoyed were Slender the Arrival was my first one, and I loved that. I loved that game, and Slender Man scares the crap out of me. So we'll talk on that one. I really enjoyed Outlast. That's been my favorite series so far. I've also enjoyed The Beast Inside was good. Silent Hill is ongoing, but I'm really enjoying that one so far. And we'll also touch on Layers of Fear and Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And I'll just go over the other ones that I've played. So the other games were The Story of Henry Bishop, which was my second series. I did also Blair Witch. Actually, I really enjoyed Blair Witch as well. We'll talk about that too. Stories Untold, which was a short 4-part series. Each one was broken into episodes. Little Nightmares was also a short series. That was my second last series before Silent Hill Homecoming. And then there have been the little games from Itch.io here and there, as well as Dead by Daylight. And I did a Friday the 13th. And also a Killing Floor 2. So diving into the ones that were my favorite, starting with Slender the Arrival. That game was terrifying to me because Slender Man scares me so much. And I like to refer to him, and so do others that I know, as Chicken Slenders now. Because in part 1, I referred to him as Chicken Slenders, and I guess that just kind of caught on. It makes me feel better to refer to him as a piece of food, because then, I don't know, it makes it a little bit less scary. But Slender the Arrival was my first series. And it's funny looking back on that series. I sometimes will go back and watch some series if I'm looking for little clips to put on other platforms or things like that to try and somewhat promote this channel. And looking back to that was before I actually did like major editing, before I had changed my mic placement, before I had actually, I think at the time I was only recording in 720p. And so looking back on that series, I remember the first episode, I had started and stopped about 5 different times because I was so nervous to release a video. Whereas now it's almost like it's second nature to make videos. It's a lot easier for me to get in front of this camera and record and present my stupid ass personality to all of you guys while playing the horror games. But that back then I was terrified to make that first video. I was so scared. And honestly, when I look back on the video, I can see it. But at the same time, it was where this all began. So I appreciate it for what it is, but the game was great. The game was really, really fun. I really enjoyed playing it. And so that one was one of the scarier games I've played, and it's only because of Slender Man himself. That game has 2 different endings. I've talked about this, and I never actually got the second one. I know how to get it. You have to play it on the hardest difficulty, but I've never really talked about the second one. If you want to know what happens there, let me know in the comment section below. I will replay the game and show the alternate ending. I won't record the whole gameplay, but I'll record what happens to the alternate ending if you guys want to see it. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see that portion of Slender the Arrival. Up next, we'll go with Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear, I believe, was the game that gave me my first scream. And it was a moment where I opened up a door. I thought everything was fine, kind of nonchalant playing it. I opened up a door, and there was a figure just shaking there. And holy crap, that scared the living daylight out of me. I was so scared of me, but it was great. That game was phenomenal, and that game has 3 endings. I only got 1. I didn't get a great ending. I don't know what happens to the other 2, but again, that could be something that I revisit in the future. So if you want to see the other ones of Layers of Fear, at least a secondary ending, let me know in the comment section. I may come back to play that game as well. But Layers of Fear was really great because the game was constantly changing. It was terrifying, and it was also very unique, the way that they told the story. It was great. And so after that came Inheritance, actually, which was the story of the painter's daughter. That one was only actually about an hour long in terms of, I think, gameplay and production. Or not production, but gameplay. Yeah, just gameplay. That's what I want to say. It was about an hour long in terms of gameplay. So it was a shorter series, but that one was really good too. It was kind of a cool build upon the first game. So I appreciated it for what it was, absolutely. Outlast. We'll talk about Outlast next. Outlast was my favorite series, and it's because the game is so dark and twisted and gruesome and just a bucket of hell going on all at once. It's a terrific game. If you haven't seen the series, that's my favorite, and that's the series I feel like, I don't know, it was the most fun to play. I enjoyed it the most for playing it. Really loved that series. So that would be my recommendation for a series to check out because it's just so messed up. And also, there's an expansion, which I've played as well, which is part of the Outlast playlist, and it was called Whistleblower. And it was the story of the guy who actually originally sent Miles Upshur the email. And Waylon Park was his name, if I'm recalling correctly. And that was, I think, might have actually been more messed up than Outlast. It was so good, though. It was phenomenal. Outlast, great series. Great series. Check it out, for sure. I think I mentioned that I'll go over The Beast Inside. I'm already losing my mind. The Beast Inside was, it was a different game. I really enjoyed that one. It was really cool because it jumped back and forth between 2 different time frames based on a journal that the main character was reading. And so you'd be him, and then you'd be his ancestor from 1867 or something along those lines, 1864. I think it actually might have taken place in 1864. But it was in the 1800s, either way. And that game was super confusing at first. It eventually made sense, but it was really great too. I really enjoyed The Beast Inside. And then Amnesia, the so-called granddaddy of horror games, which honestly, I didn't find to be the most scary game that I've played on this channel so far, but I appreciated it for what it was. The game came out a very, very long time ago in comparison to when I'm playing it now. I think it was 2008. And now I'm worried, so I'm just going to double check that. 2010. Okay, so it came out in 2010. And so, you know, that was 10 years ago. And so the game has obviously aged some. It was still enjoyable. I still really liked it. But it wasn't the scariest game I played on this channel. To me, the scariest game was either Outlast or Layers of Fear. Those two were... Layers of Fear for jump scares, holy crap. Great game for jump scares. You get you every 3 seconds, I swear. And now I'm playing Silent Hill Homecoming. And Silent Hill Homecoming is more action-packed than I thought it would be, but it's awesome. I'm really enjoying that. That series, I think, will have probably 4 or 5 more parts to it, I would think. I think I'm on part 7. Maybe, I'll say 3 to 5, I'm guessing. I don't actually really know how long it's going to take me to beat the game, but I would estimate maybe 3 to 5 more parts. But I'm really enjoying Silent Hill Homecoming. And then, as I mentioned, the other few games were The Story of Henry Bishop, which was good. It was a little weird. Dead by Daylight's a great ongoing series. I really love playing it. I've actually finally won my first game not too long ago, which was awesome, finally. Blair Witch. That's the one that I want to talk about, but didn't. Blair Witch is it's not as well known as I thought it would be, but it's good. It's a really good game. It's again, another very confusing game that kind of twists you at the very end. And also, I believe, has multiple endings. Although I haven't confirmed that, but it would make sense based on what happened to me at the end of the game. But that one was a great game as well. And then Stories Untold, again, 4-part short game. Fantastic. Great storytelling. Phenomenal game. It's an interactive horror, so it's a lot of fun. And so that's my 100 videos in review. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me this time so far. I wanted to let you know that we're not stopping at all. I'm going to keep bringing out videos daily. I'm going to keep coming with more games. It's going to be a great time. But I want to know what games you guys want to see. I have mentioned this before. I've gotten some feedback, but I really would like to know what games you want to see. Specifically horror games. I'm loving the genre. Again, I mentioned before I'm going to branch out eventually, but not yet. So, loving the horror genre. Let me know what horror games you guys want to see, because I really want to know what games that you want to see. I want to explore games that I might not play myself. That's a big one. To name a couple of games that I have planned coming up, I'm planning on playing... Oh, let's see. Soma is one of them that's on the list, because that game looks awesome. It's, again, a little bit of an age title. Outlast 2 will be coming eventually. Layers of Fear 2 will be coming eventually. A couple other games that I'm going to be playing are I'm Scared, which is a pixelated style game. I don't know much about it, but it looked fairly scary. So that'll be a good one to play as well. I have Alan Wake planned eventually, but there's no time frame or timetable to when I'm getting to all these games. It'll either be based on someone suggesting it, and that might push it to the front of the line a bit, or I feel it's come the time to play those games. For example, I just finished Outlast Whistleblower, as well as the Layers of Fear expansion recently, so I may not do Outlast 2 or Layers of Fear 2 right away, because I just did very similar games, but those will be coming eventually. But either way, there's a lot to be excited about on the horizon. There's a lot to be excited about in the future. I'm loving what I'm doing still. I'm going to be hitting you guys with more content. It's going to keep coming daily. It's going to keep coming, 2 on Tuesdays, and it's going to be a great time. So, as always, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you let me know what games you want to see, and I hope you let me know if you want to see alternate ending to some of the games I've mentioned, or if you just liked the series that I've done so far, or if you like the videos that I've done so far in this channel up until this point. Really love to hear feedback from you guys, but again, thank you so much for your support. It's always appreciated. I'm loving what I'm doing, and I love the support that I'm getting. So, if you like this, let me know in the comment section below. Give the video a like, and if you haven't so far, hit that subscribe button. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of this video. Also, hit the notification bell so you can be reminded every time a new video becomes available, which is daily. And until next time, remember, stay Driessenable.